Today we are going to talk about a sensitive topic. This topic affects almost everyone, and it's something that I feel like I can speak about now, especially going through the experiences I have gone through.
So we're going to talk about bullying today. And you don't have to be 6 years old to get bullied. You can be 46 years old and still be bullied, because there's all kinds of bullying.
The other night I had a dream, and in the dream there was this guy that had always intimidated me, always made me feel uncomfortable, kind of cornered, felt like I could never stand up to him or say what I really thought. And in the dream he came unexpectedly to my house, and I stood up in my dream and I literally just started yelling at him and telling him exactly what I thought and what I felt, and I didn't feel burdened anymore, or I had to act a certain way. And I think that's something that's really hard with bullies, because in real life I don't think I could ever do that. Well, I mean, I could do that, but I think it would take me a lot of time and to get to that point. And I think that's why people get bullied, is because we don't always stand up for what we think or believe, or how we feel we should be treated, because we don't know.
We don't stand up and say what we feel or think fast enough.
Yeah.
And you just pointed that out, that in real life you didn't feel like you were able to do that fast enough. And in the dream, when you told me about the dream, you said that you had an immediate reaction of anger.
Yeah.
Bullies intimidate. And when you are intimidated, your number one thing that you immediately feel is fear.
Yeah.
And then what does fear do? Fear shuts you down. You pull back and you shut down and you shut your mouth. And I think the number one response that kind of deters bullies is when you immediately say no.
Yeah.
A family friend of ours is he's a school bus driver for the first time, and he was asking me advice, like, Lauren, how am I going to handle the bus route? Kids are fooling around in the back of the bus, and the bus driver's got to drive the bus and at the same time keep control and not let the bullies take over and all of that. And I told him, I said, John, what you have to do is, the minute some kid in the back intimidates another kid or is smacking somebody or doing something, I said, you've got to raise your voice, and over the microphone you've got to go, hey! And I said, that's all you have to say. Just say it loud and say it quick and say it fast and look fierce. And I think that that really is important, because most of the time bullies can see when we're scared.
Yeah.
They see the look on our face and it feeds them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's like fresh meat going in for the kill.
It's awful.
But guess what? After this video, if you're being bullied or you know someone who's being bullied, we're going to show you how not to be the fresh meat. And nobody's going to mess with you, because you're worth being loved and protected. You may know somebody who's getting bullied and are wondering, what do I do? How do I intervene?
Yeah, it's hard. It's also a case-by-case situation sometimes, because there's different types of bullying, and also now with our generation, there's a lot of social media and cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And that is extremely hard to deal with, because you don't know where it's coming from a lot of the time. And
that happened to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much Facebook, it was getting text messages and having your number.
Yeah.
Some girl sent out your number to other people to try to get them to say things to you and text you from all over. And that was bad.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for kids who are in a grocery store and the parent is going irate. I don't know, have you ever seen this, where it's not like, Junior, sit down and be quiet. It's like the parent, you're thinking to yourself, if they yell at the kid like that in public, what in the world do they do to the kid when they're at home and no one's looking? And when I see that, I get very concerned for these children, because who's going to stand up for them?
Yeah.
And I've gone up to parents, but you have to be very careful, because you don't want to get the bully so angry that they're going to turn and take it out on the kids.
Yeah.
So I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
And obviously, if it's ever to the point where it really is right out in the public abuse, you need to call the cops in that situation. But I'm talking about where the kid's getting yelled at and the parent is just losing it, and you can tell, wow, this is getting a little bit scary here. And I've gone up to parents and I'll say something like, you know what, it's a hard day, isn't it? Or, you know, can I help you reach some things on the grocery shelf so that your kid doesn't fall out at the same time? Or, you know, you want to show a little bit of understanding to kind of dial down their rage.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you want to let them know, I'm watching you. you are not going unchecked. And that's what bullies need.
Yeah.
Bullies need to know somebody is keeping an eye on them. And many times you'll go to the authorities, you'll go to the principal, you'll go to the bus driver, and maybe you feel like all they got was a tap on the wrist, and and you're like, why bother?
I was in middle school when this happened, and I got stuck kind of in the corner of a bus, on a bus seat, and this guy has been harassing me for like months. So he got in my seat and he was like calling me all these names and inappropriate words, and just, it was like really like scary, and I kind of was just in shock. And I looked at my friend, because my friend was sitting right there, and he was laughing as it was happening. And I told my mom, I said to you, like, he was calling me these names and stuff. And
I called the principal.
she called the principal.
And then I told the principal what you had told me. And he said, don't worry, I'll take care of this. This was at a small private school. And then he called you out of the classroom one day. It almost made you look like you were in trouble.
Yeah.
And when you got there, the bully was there.
Yeah. The bully said that I had called him like some silly name like monkey. He made me apologize to the bully for that, but he didn't even really make the bully apologize to me, and he wouldn't let me leave the room until I apologized to him, because I was in the wrong. The fact of the matter is, like, calling someone like something silly, just like jokingly, and then someone like sexually like saying words, like, those are two different levels.
So that's the case where people, some, officials, if you want to call them, authority figures, they're convinced that it takes two to tango. There's always two people involved. So in that case, he said the bully had to apologize for calling you bad words, and that you had to apologize for calling him a bad word. But then later on, you told me it was actually worse than that.
Yeah.
And you told me that he had actually gotten in your seat and actually had put his private parts right in your face. Yeah. And I can imagine it was hard for you to really bring that up. And I don't think the principal had the full knowledge.
But he didn't ask.
He didn't ask, and he didn't care. And I don't know if he would have handled it well. But here's our point. If you are being bullied, the way to help yourself get help, you've got to help the person you're telling to fully understand. You've got to tell, I always say this to you, tell the whole story or don't tell it at all. Because if you only tell part of it, which is what she did with me, all I thought was, okay, it's bad enough that he had said bad words, but like the principal, people think, well, you can recover, and once he says sorry. But that's not the same as being almost sexually accosted, and physically accosted, I should say. And in that case, anytime you've got something serious going on, I know it's hard and you feel shame, and you shouldn't, but people make you feel shame if anything has to do with any kind of sexual bullying, any kind of physical bullying, emotional. Tell the whole story. If somebody has touched you in an inappropriate spot, tell them where they touched you. If they said something bad, tell the words that they said to you. If you're at the workplace and it's your boss or a coworker, tell the whole story as to what's happening. Sometimes we shut down and we'll just say, okay, he did this and he did that. And if we don't show that it troubles us, people don't think, oh, she seems fine. She seems fine. But when you went into the principal's office,
I was just quiet when I came into the principal's office.
You didn't.
I thought he was going to ask questions, but he didn't even ask questions. He just went, all right, you apologize, and then you can leave. Otherwise, you can't leave. So it was like I was trapped again.
Yes.
I was trapped on the bus.
You were almost bullied again
and it
by
was
the principal.
It's just like, that's not how you handle it.
Yeah. So here's a couple things to remember. First of all, it's very normal to feel afraid and intimidated and to shut down. But at some point, ask for help. Talk to somebody. Ask God for the ability to get angry. Anger in a healthy way is a God-given tool. It empowers you. You can do things when you're angry. And in your dream, you got angry at this one bully, and you hadn't gotten angry in real life. And in the dream, you got angry. Something he said just triggered it, and you got angry. You stood up, and you told him off. And so there is a way to find that anger, because you should be angry when someone's mistreating you. You should not just be hurt, you should be angry. You don't deserve that. And we want to empower you today, whether you're being bullied or you know someone being bullied. Stand up, speak out, Tell the whole story. Get in touch with your anger. You need to know it's not right how somebody's treating you. You survived bullying.
Yes.
I've survived bullying. And guess what? We're speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go double duty now. So the bullies out there better watch out.
Yeah. We're coming for you.
We're coming for you.
I hope that this helps hearing these things and that you're not alone and it happens to a lot of people. And please leave any comments or questions or concerns and we will get back to you. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.